Set your flip phone ringtones to Feel Good Inc. and dust off your live journal. We're turning back the clock 20 years to September 2005.
Xbox 360 was mere weeks away, and Nintendo was showing off a controller that looked like your mom's TV remote.
And World of Warcraft players were about to face something no Quest had ever prepared them for.
So join us as we dive headfirst into the biggest games, weirdest headlines, and most unforgettable moments in gaming from September 2005.
We Love Katamari rolled onto PlayStation 2 like a giant sticky fever dream, taking its already bizarre premise and somehow cranking the weird up to 11. Want to roll up some sumo wrestlers until they become celestial bodies? Sure. Make a giant ball of pandas? Hey, why not? It was peak mid-2000s, colorful, chaotic, and proudly unhinged. Burnout came in hot that September, with Revenge serving up full-speed grudge matches where the only rule was hit them before they hit you. And if you wanted to cause pileups on the go, Burnout Legends lets you take crashes, takedowns, and slow-motion wreckage on the road. Stealth gamers got Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, the big finale for everyone's favorite Gentleman Raccoon Thief. It packed in new gadgets, new teammates, and even a few gimmicky 3D missions, complete with those old school red and blue glasses.
All right!
Superhero fans got hit or miss offerings. Marvel Nemesis Rise of Imperfects launched on basically every system imaginable, but its edgy original characters like Fault Zone never quite stuck. Thankfully, X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse was there to save the day, bringing solid co-op action that was like Gauntlet for comic fans. Ultimate Spider-Man swung onto shelves late in the month with slick, comic book style cell shading, and the freedom to web sling as Spidey or unleash chaos as Venom.
September 2005 wasn't just about the games. It was also about the machines we played them on next. At the Tokyo Game Show, Microsoft circled November 22nd as Xbox 360's North American launch.
This is very cool in this tracks everything I do with my 360. I'll have my gamer tile, what games I played, how good I am, what my achievements are, and other gamers will be able to see that.
Revealing two models, the Core at $299 and the Premium at $399.
And is about $50 cheaper than its American equivalent. Is that desperation I smell? Oh, I think it is.
Previews for Dead or Alive 4 and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter showed off true next-gen visuals, kicking off the HD gaming era.
Gears of War remains the most visually impressive Xbox 360 title in the pipeline. Some new footage was shown of the game actually running on Xbox 360 hardware, and it's shaping up to be quite the system seller.
They also showcased the upgraded Xbox Live, featuring the live marketplace with downloadable demos and arcade content. Then Nintendo blew everyone's mind with the Revolution controller, soon to be known as the Wii Remote, showing how it could aim, swing, and tilt like nothing else on the market. And for weeks after, message boards were a war zone of diagrams, theories, and more TV remote control means than you could shake a Wiimote at.
First time I actually saw it, I was very confused. But I would say, just like the Nintendo DS, you have to get your hands on it. You really have to touch it.
In the same month, Nintendo quietly launched the tiny, stylish Game Boy Micro. About the size of a business card, with a brightly backlit screen and swappable faceplate, it marketed less like a kid's toy and more like a fashion accessory. And while it was limited to the Game Boy Advance titles, its portability was unmatched. Along with the Game Boy Micro, Nintendo released a new version of the Play-On called the Play-On Micro, also known as the Nintendo MP3 player in Europe. This little add-on allowed your Game Boy Advance to double as an MP3 and video player. Nintendo and Microsoft weren't the only ones making headlines in September 2005. Sony kicked off the month with PSP's massive European launch on September 1st. The system sold over 185,000 units within the first 4 days. Sony also teased Talkman at the Tokyo Game Show, a microphone add-on for the PSP that could translate between Japanese, English, Mandarin Chinese, and Korean, complete with a cartoon parrot mascot and a very tongue-focused branding campaign. Nowadays, we have translators in our pockets, but in 2005, Talkman felt like something straight out of Star Trek.
Let me buy you a drink. PlayStation Portable.
Combat went co-op with Mortal Kombat, Shaolin monks, turning the classic fighter into an action-packed beat-em-up stuffed with ridiculous combos and more fatalities than the series had room for. GameCube got strategic with Battalion Wars, taking Advance Wars' real-time action and handing you control of entire cartoon armies. Less chess, more explosions, exactly how we liked it. Outside of Nintendo's colorful battlefields, there was no shortage of quirky action. Total Overdose was pure B-movie action in video game form. A third-person shooter packed with slow-motion dives, exploding sombreros, and one-liners thick enough to spread on toast. And Evil Dead Regeneration gave Ash a sidekick and a chainsaw, proving that the only thing better than zombie-slaying one-liners is having someone to share them with. The world of Fable got bigger in the Lost Chapters, an expanded edition that added new quests, areas, weapons, and the ability to keep playing after the main story wrapped. For Xbox and PC players, it was the perfect excuse to return to Albion.
Look after yourself. Forget everyone else.
And on PS2, Ratty Out of Stories delivered a colorful RPG world where you could recruit over 150 characters, or wander around kicking townsfolk in the shins for no reason.
So, looks like we have a new assignment, boys.
PC gamers were eating well too. Fear dropped a multiplayer demo mixing bullet time shootouts with creepy ghost girls. Perfect nightmare fuel for your next LAN party. World War II fans had options. Day of Defeat Source rebuilt the classic team shooter in Valve's Source engine with improved physics and visuals, while Heroes of the Pacific took the fight to the skies with nimble fighters, heavy bombers, and sprawling dogfights. EA's The Sims 2 Nightlife let you take your Sims clubbing, buy overpriced cars, and, if you were feeling spicy, turn them into vampires. You know, regular Friday night stuff.
And World of Warcraft players were about to face something no quest had ever prepared them for. In September 2005, the headlines hit harder than some of the games. In one of the strangest gaming moments of the month, possibly all of gaming history,
a computer game is providing us with a remarkable virtual view of what could happen if a real epidemic erupted across the globe.
World of Warcraft was thrown into chaos by the now infamous corrupted blood incident. A glitch let a raid boss's deadly debuff escape into major cities, wiping out low-level players, felling unprepared veterans, and turning populated hubs into plague zones. The chaos was so fascinating that even epidemiologists studied it as a virtual model for real-world disease outbreaks.
An example of a big virus releasing in an environment, what happens to that virus once it's released.
The event disrupted Azeroth for weeks, becoming one of online gaming's most legendary unscripted events. In other news, Konami traded in the dance pad for a courtroom, suing Rockstar Games over In the Groove, their arcade rival to Dance Dance Revolution. Konami claimed Rockstar had infringed on its arcade dance pad empire by modding existing DDR cabinets. The lawsuit lit up rhythm game forums. Was Konami protecting its IP, or just trying to stomp the competition? Spoilers, the companies would settle in the next year, allowing Konami to acquire the rights to In the Groove. That same month, Best Buy quietly tested the waters of used game sales, a move that put them on a collision course with GameStop's pre-owned empire. For gamers, it meant one thing. A new player had entered the trade-in game, and competition was about to get interesting. On September 29th, Bandai and Namco officially joined forces, creating a Japanese entertainment giant that spanned video games, toys, and arcades. I like to imagine the Tekken roster and Pac-Man's ghosts awkwardly sharing a table in the company cafeteria.
No, don't!
Rainbow Six Lockdown kicked in the door on console, ditching the hyper-real tactics for something faster, louder, and a lot less likely to get your whole squad wiped in 30 seconds. PC strategy fans had a big month. Winter Assault added the Imperial Guard and enough armored tanks to make Michael Bay blush, while Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion put you in command of an empire on the brink. EverQuest 2's first expansion, Desert of Flames, whisked players off to a sprawling desert city inspired by Arabian Nights, adding magic carpets and a whole new region to get lost in. September also gave us Indigo Prophecy, aka Fahrenheit, a genre-bending thriller that blended cinematic storytelling with interactive drama. And Miss 5, End of Ages delivered a final fitting chapter to the legendary puzzle series.
We've all failed. You have accomplished nothing.
And we can't forget Far Cry Instincts, a surprisingly strong Xbox adaptation of the groundbreaking PC shooter, bringing lush jungles and brutal stealth action into your living room. Ninja Gaiden Black bundled the 2004 game with both Hurricane packs, a new feature called Mission Mode, and a few new enemies, creating an even tougher challenge for fans of the franchise.
I'm Rachel, hunter and slayer of fiends.
So that was a fiend.
Sports fans stayed busy with NHL 2K6, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 06, and NBA Live 2006, which introduced the new Freestyle Superstars system, giving you more control over signature moves than ever before.
Games with his play. The Pistons miss on a three-point play opportunity.
On Game Boy Advance, Mario Tennis Power Tour blended on-court matches with a full story mode and RPG-style progression. From the minds behind XCOM, Rebel Star Tactical Command shrank the turn-based strategy formula down to Game Boy Advance size. Players commanded squads through grid-based battles with surprising depth for a handheld title. On PSP, Medieval Resurrection brought back the undead knight Sir Daniel Fortesque in a tongue-in-cheek reimagining of the PlayStation 1 original. With updated visuals, new mini-games, and the same gleefully macabre humor, it was an early showcase for Sony's handheld. RPG Maker 3 arrived in Western markets, giving up-and-coming game creators on PlayStation 2 the ability to design adventures, complete with custom maps, events, and characters, without coding a single line. And last but not least, over in Japan, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney made its debut on the DS, a quirky courtroom adventure that would soon win hearts worldwide, the perfect cult hit to close out a stacked month.
Video games were everywhere you looked in September 2005. In your magazines, on your TV, and in your movies. Even your bad horror sequels. The direct-to-DVD release of Hellraiser Hellworld reimagined Hellraiser as an online game gone horribly wrong. A group of MMO-obsessed friends get invited to a mysterious party hosted by a game master, only to find themselves trapped in a real-life version of the game. It was like a time capsule of every awkward early 2000s horror trend crammed into 90 minutes. But in its defense, it did give us Lance Henriksen as a mysterious game master and an early performance by Henry Cavill.
Not good.
For those who preferred flipping through pages instead of scrolling DVD menus, gaming mags were crammed with console hype, wild speculation, and next-gen previews. Electronic Gaming Monthly featured a hands-on preview of Soul Calibur 3, while GamePro went all in on a preview of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. PC Gamer packed in a DVD with a Dungeon Siege 2 demo and a World of Warcraft full trial. Remember when we got demo disc in magazines? Good times. If you were a gamer in 2005, chances are good you were watching G4 TV. X-Play's hosts Adam Sussler and Morgan Webb teamed up with Kevin Pereira at the September's Tokyo Game Show.
Welcome to G4's coverage of the 2005 Tokyo Game Show. It's like the Japanese version of E3.
Giving viewers a front row seat from Japan, they brought us real-time reactions, backstage chaos, and that signature Adam Sussler sarcasm slicing through the sensory overload of flash, noise, and cosplayers.
There were kittens and a bunny, Gundam seeds, these people, and schoolgirls. But to become them, I had to train.
And Attack of the Show hit their 100th episode in September 2005. If you tuned in that month, you may have caught them discussing machinima legal concerns, talking with Major League Gaming, and reporting on the PlayStation 3's Blu-ray drive.
Blu-ray, our possibly as yet undetermined DVD format of the future.
Maybe.
In the same month, the highly anticipated Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie hit shelves in Japan on DVD and UMD, leaving Western gamers desperate to get their hands on import copies and fan translations. It turned out the movie's plot was about as coherent as Cloud's hairdo, but seeing Sephiroth return in high-res glory was enough to make even the toughest gamers shed a tear.
And that's a wrap on September 2005. We played awesome games, we spread rumors about new consoles, and somewhere out there, someone watched Hellraiser Hellworld on a portable DVD player. What were you playing in September 2005? Let us know in the comments. And remember to hit subscribe so you can join us next time when we explore October 2005.